Embla Books presents The Codebreaker's Daughter, written by Suzanne Fortin and read by Tamaryn Payne. Chapter 1. Buckinghamshire, England, October 1942. Forever and ever, Amen. Hana Phillips looked up at the class of 8 and 9-year-olds before her. Their hands still together in prayer, they lifted their heads. Hana smiled at her students. Well done, everyone. Now, if you all stand quietly and put your chairs on your tables. There was a scuffling and banging of the wooden chairs being pushed back across the floorboards, and then plonked on the desks. It was 3:30, and it didn't take long before the class of 20 children had completed the last task of the day. Hana made her way through the desks to the door at the back of the village schoolroom, which opened onto the cloakroom. "File out, row by row," she said. "Coats on. Don't forget your gloves and hats. It's chilly out there today." The first row of children filed through the door. "Matashita," said Hana to each of them in Japanese, followed by a small bow of her head. "See you in the morning." It always delighted her when the children returned the farewell in kind. "Matashita, Mrs. Phillips." Hana had been brought up bilingual in English and Japanese. Her father had been a Cambridge don, specialising in languages, and, together with her parents and older brother, Hana had spent several years living in Japan, returning to England when she was 17. There was nothing Hana loved more than sharing her experiences of living in the country. The children were fascinated by her stories and were always full of questions about the different culture and customs. "Matashita, George," said Hana, as the last of the children left the cloakroom. "Matashita, Mrs. Phillips," replied the little boy, before sprinting out of the room. Hana closed her classroom door and turned to go back to her desk, but was surprised to see the headmaster, Mr. Capper, standing there. "Mrs. Phillips, might I have a word?" "Of course," replied Hana, wondering what on earth he could want to talk to her about. He certainly wasn't giving the impression this was a friendly chat. "In my office." Hana followed him out through the cloakroom and down the hallway to his office. Mr. Capper indicated for Hana to sit while he took his position in his chair behind his desk. Mr. Capper took a deep breath. "I'll come straight to the point," he began. "One of the parents has been to see me today with a complaint against you." Hana's heart did a little leap. Had she heard him right? "A complaint against me? By a parent?"
"Yes, Mrs. Pitman, George Pitman's mother."
Hana tried hard not to let her reaction show on her face. Mrs. Pitman was rather vocal at the best of times. It didn't take much to upset her. What she complained about?
Speaking Japanese to the children.
Hana raised her eyebrows. "We only say hello and goodbye. It's just a bit of fun, really. I'm not giving them Japanese lessons." Mr. Capper held up his hand.
"Yes, I know that," he replied, his features softening a fraction. "I know you spent time in the country and have a strong connection to it and are, I think it's fair to say, rather fond of the place."
Hana gave a shrug. "Yes, I am. Some of my happiest days were spent in Japan."
"Quite, and there's nothing wrong with that."
Mr. Capper paused as if trying to pick his words.
"But that was before we were at war with them."
"I'm not teaching them anything political," said Hana. "It's about the geography, the traditions, the culture, that's all." Mr. Capper let out a sigh and leaned forward, picking up a letter.
"This is from Mrs. Pitman. She says, you talked about the schools and universities, how the Japanese have high literacy rates."
"That's her interpretation. It's not the sort of expression I'd use with 8 and 9-year-olds, said Hana, trying to keep her temper. "I did say they were educated to a high standard."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?